I'd like to suggest two things. As we know, in a couple of years, people in the Juniper Utilities system are going to be moving off their current irrigation system and moving on to city water. And as part of that, in the discussions surrounding how to ease people into that, I'd like to recommend that the city provide assistance to the Juniper Utility area for transitioning to city water, to provide some consulting and some resource so that in landscape design and irrigation system rebuild, so that the shock as people move over to their new systems is mitigated, and it also creates a lot of upfront awareness that they need to do a lot of revisions to their systems and work to their systems before that moment actually happens.
Mark, do you have a conflict?
Well, not really. I don't
think so.
I actually talked to Mary, and because this fits within a class exception, I don't have a conflict on this. But just so that people are fully aware, I do live in the Juniper Utilities area, so my home is impacted by this. But there are, 600 homes, 700 homes. So I'm one of 700. So I guess that makes it so it isn't considered a conflict. So I just want to give you a homeowner's view of what's going on in the Juniper Utilities area. I figure that for my house, I'm probably going to have to spend somewhere $15,000 to $20,000 to upgrade my systems when I lose irrigation water. And I think I'll probably have to spend another, I don't know, maybe $1,000 or more as my part of my homeowners association for them to upgrade their systems. After that, my water bill should probably triple or quadruple when I switch from irrigation. What I have told Tom is I fully expect that if we don't do something like what Sally has suggested, that when it comes time, a year or so from now, when everybody that hasn't been attending all of the meetings realizes the personal hit they're going to have to take, we're going to have hundreds of people in the hall mad as hell. And so, I didn't come up with the idea. Sally and Tom, I think, came up with it. I think it's a good proactive way to try and help people. There's a lot of people in my neighborhood that are unemployed and that aren't making their house payments. Because it's not a wealthy neighborhood by any means. And I think that there will be a lot of people that this hurts pretty dramatically. That all being said, I need to talk to Mary some more about this, but I will probably, want to participate, I guess. But when it comes to a vote, I will probably not vote on these issues because, it does impact me personally. And I'm not sure that's right. Whether the law allows me to do it or not, I'm not sure that's the right thing to do. But I wanted to give you a perspective of somebody that lives in the neighborhood. And because I'm aware of it, I know what it's going to cost me. And it's, we bought the house knowing that. And so we went in with our eyes open. There's a lot of people in there that don't have a clue it's coming down.
Why do you think it cost you $15,000 to $20,000 to change over to city water?
I have 7 ponds on my property.
So you need
they
to
all
get rid of some ponds.
They all need to be either rebuilt or they need to disappear. Plus, I have to repipe my irrigation, move it to potable water, and I have 1.5 acres. So 1.5 acres on city water is going to be expensive.
Yeah, I know why. I can understand why the city water is expensive. I was just wondering why it costs so much to change over, the changeover itself.
My guess is I'm going to have to dig a couple 100 feet long trench to reroute my pipes, plus all of the pond work. And I mean, there's a lot of, it's going to be a big job. I'll have a few. And I'm not singing the blues because I knew it going in.
Right.
Because I was on council when I bought this house, so I knew what the situation was out there. But there's a lot of people out there that don't have the benefit of knowing what to expect. And so I think when they figure out what it's going to cost them, they're going to be pretty upset.
So,
Or are you looking for some kind of motion or something on?
That's fine. I think as long as that
Discussion, we know what's going on.
No, the motion, we don't need a motion, but I think as long as staff is in agreement with that approach to kind of direct staff to look into kind of proposing some resources to help with this transition, both in terms of landscape design as well as just the irrigation system, how to manage, maybe better manage and provide assistance to the homeowners associations on how to better manage those systems.
Yeah, and let me add, one thing I didn't say is my house is in Tillicum Village, and the neighborhood association has no money. I mean, there isn't a pot of money for them to go hire an engineer to refigure it out. When I talked to the president of the board not long ago, I suggested that, I fully expected when I moved out there he was going to have to triple our dues. Because how else are they going to pay for it? I mean, there isn't the cash in the pot to do it.
And that's why I think we're sort of, what I'm hearing you suggest is kind of a partnership approach. So, I mean, I think there needs to be some responsibility amongst the owners associations, but if the city can help assist that, I think we want to be in a position to do that.
The schools are